Oh, now me a brand is kind of mean. Me a brand is kind of mean. Yeah, so Charlie, I don't know. Google make a page account. Yeah. So I'm all in for this, and the good news is these new holidays. I'm hoping that it will continue to be 2 days. But the issue is, hello, hello, can you hear me? Hello, Adebe, you dey hear me? Yes, I'm very excited with this. I mean, considering that we'll factor in that house to house thing, which we know we can execute. I mean, we need to stop tickling ourselves and find a very suitable period. I'm hoping that I don't know what next year will be because the Muslim holiday is sort of tied to some calculation by some imam or something. So we can't be specific about it. Hey, they are looking at the stand, and you know how funny that is. So we can't even be sure of that. We can't even be sure of that. And the saddest thing is, we can't know like a month to wait. I think they get to know like 2 or 3 weeks to wait. So that's where the issues sort of stand. But I'm all in for the idea. If there are other suitable data, it wouldn't be bad. But I mean, it's best we try and execute it at least. If we feel okay, at least we know that we try something. So I'm all in for that. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think we did as when they started the fasting, that one they can know. At least they have a fair idea about it. So we are going to work around that 40 days or whatever days that we are doing.
Oh, okay. Just that this is a skeleton. Like there are so many errors in there. Like this is not the final thing. Like that's the whole idea of the meeting. So this is a skeleton. So um we will do that and factor it in. I think because it's so obvious that we can't add the December event to the house to house to the December event. The other time Rachel was saying it at the meeting, like the beginning of the year meeting. She was like, there are some people in the other groups that they would want to go, but then Obi had that time no, or mentoring, so untiminko. So it's good that we are doing it. Asamoah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, like with the Muslim holiday, I think they usually predict it like during the beginning of the year. Sometimes it's just like some a week or it's just a week less or a week above. So that way we can know the date, like the time that we'll be working around.
But I have another question.
Yes, politically, uh, uh, it is 2 days for now. And now, Koshifuni now say that to 2 days.
Okay, then that's some good news. So it means we can, because my concern with Easter is that Pentecost, I think they have Easter convention, and um Presbyterian, so we will have name or something in their group. So it's something. So it was one of the threats it was existing. Yes. So okay. Any other different view? Maybe we shouldn't do it. We'll do any other different view there. Then we move on to the next thing, because it looks like we agree with the change in calendar, and most of the things in there are what we normally do every year. So It's just the new addition is the changing calendar to the pre-COVID period calendar. Okay, that's nice. Jonathan, please, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so then we are moving on to the next agenda. We realized during the post-mortem meeting, no, it's we don't call it like the meeting we do after the event, the one we do at the town. Yeah. The debriefing meeting. Yeah. We realized that the documents, the feedback we got from the mentoring session people was that you can't go and tell kindergarten person what you tell JHS person. So there should be some differences. So we decided to put together a team, an ad hoc committee that will handle this. So they've done the work. They were supposed to use from January till right now to come up with something. In fact, they've done a good job. I forwarded it to some of the groups, the executive groups, and then I think the executive group so far, and then I think the trustees too. So, Jonathan, can you tell us what you have done so far and what we should know? Your findings or anything you think we should know?
Okay. Please, can you all hear me?
Yes, please.
All right. So as Ike has already said, we realize there is only one document that all the mentors are using to teach from kindergarten to JHS. Sometimes make it difficult for the mentors to apply whatever in that document to like kindergarten people, trying to find ways to make them understand what you are trying to say. So after the during the debriefing, we realized that we have to do something about it. So we started with creating different documents for each class. So we divided the whole class from the kindergarten to JSS into 4 sections. So we have the kindergarten class, the lower primary, the upper primary, and then the JHS. So we decided to create a document, separate documents for each of these class. And then we also realized that we have to add more to it. So we included, we make the document in such a way like in activity-based document, something that's what will not be like it's only the mentors that will be presenting what they have, but it's just like a collaboration in the class that the students will also take part during the learning process. So we decided to add more activities to it. And so far so good. The documents we are done. We are done with it. We have them with us. Please, can
Yes.
you hear me?
But then
Okay.
there are some concerns. We got some of the feedback. I think I shared some of the feedback with you.
Yes. Yes.
Apparently, your friend is saying, one of the concern is there's, for example, the kindergarten one. We have to do some modifications with. We are trying to do. I think we are trying to work on something like coloring book for them for the kindergarten. But then we eliminated some parts, not intentionally, but then we eliminated some parts of the gospel message, and it makes it a bit truncated. So we have to bring it. We have to do those edits, and there was also a concern that it's becoming do this and get that, do this, so a bit legalistic. So there was that concern that it should be something like based on just the gospel, like so that it won't it won't be difficult for the person, because if you are going to do so many different value-based something, it will become a problem for us, because we can't use one day to your friend is saying teach them everything. So that was the feedback I was getting. I think I even shared it with you.
Yes.
So
And then
what's your
I think
position on it? Yeah.
one of the feedback was the document was nice, but just that as you said, we can't use one day or to finish all the documents. So they were like, it's good though, but it's not like we are established church or we are established institution that is at one place that will be visiting them like every Sunday, like for the teaching. So we should just create something more of the gospel, but something that can be teach in a day, very simple, and then let's eliminate the complexity of the document. Yeah, yeah, that was it.
Like, can you share the documents with us? Maybe forward it to the group, so that people
Okay,
like Omomu here will understand like
so
where we are coming from.
yeah, I'm doing that now.
Alright.
Okay, so you can take a look at it. Maybe if you have any ideas about how we should go about making it more easy, then you can share with us so that we will do the final editing of the document. So it's in now.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
I also have a concern with my concern is um it looks like few people are doing the work in the team. So yeah, anything. Should we should we remove the people who are not working, or should we let them be, like, so that we replace them with people who will work?
Yeah. I think there's still opportunity for other people who are interested to help us do this document. So first of all, I would say those of us who are interested, we can still share the link with them and then share with them. Genuinely, I know that those who join at first they have more interest, but I don't know, one of two things like distracted them from participating. But we still need more hands. So if any one of us would want to help us and then make this document available, they can still join the link and then we will be glad to work with them.
Okay,
Hello? Yeah.
yeah. Guys, any contributions with the documents? We are trying to get a new mentoring session document. We are trying to improve what we have. We've been using this document for like we've been using it since we started. So first version, we are improving Ubako, but then now we are trying to get it like in a way the different class groups, So we are trying to get one for kindergarten, one for lower primary, one for upper primary, then one for GHS. So this is what we've done so far. Like the this is what they've done so far. Like their work they've done. Any suggestions, any ideas, and something, or you think it's not a good idea, we should stop. That one too, you can say it. If there is something you want us to add to, then we just add.
Eh, What?
Okay, what?
Okay. I think the work they've done so far is good. My issue is where they start from. It makes it
legalistic when you start from the benefits of being associated with Christ without talking about Christ and his sacrifice for our sins. So my idea would be to join the group and then we could see how to solve that slight issue. It's the starting point. If we get the beginning right in the document and make it centered on Christ, that could explain the rest of the document. But just picking it up from there makes it legalistic. Like how you were saying, if you do this, you get this, do this, you get that. We are not going out there to teach people how to benefit by being a certain way. We need their lives to actually be transformed, and that starts with the actual gospel. When we skip that, we cause problems where people join Christianity for their own selfish needs. So I'll join the group when I see the link. I'll join the group, and then I'll share my ideas on maybe how to fix that slight problem.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, Jonathan, can you share? So we are doing. Can you share or add him like to the group so that any other contributions? The mentoring session document, the new version, 2025 version. Any ways we can improve it and make it better? Okay. Since we don't have any concerns, it means we are just going to improve it and just reduce the problems and make it the best we can. Let's move to the next agenda, the last one. Then we are through the meeting. We Hope Journey as a Christian organization has we have a system we are running, but then sometimes the system is the way it is, it doesn't what sometimes you have on the paper is it doesn't work because we are not a business, so you are not paying people and all those things. So we use volunteers. So people show up and they are like, oh, I can do this. And when we say we need this. So last year at the debriefing meeting, we made an announcement that we need someone to be handling the financials for us. And then sometimes to when we need a friend is saying, if we think you can do something, we approach you and ask if you can. And then some people also can make suggestions. So after making the announcement that we need people to handle some positions, George said he can help with the financials. And so for it not to be a shocker for him, like the work being overwhelming for him, he'll be working closely with the person who handles it, like currently. Since Eugenia stopped handling the whole thing, Bernice has been handling the thing. So what happens is she's been working closely with Marianne. On a handle, then they update us in the group. Then I also post from the group. Then I just share it in the community. That's what we've been doing. The account itself is with the friends and Bernice. George will be working with Bernice. Then when Uhusenia we do the things war, then he will take full control over the thing, like a transition period sort of. So one will be working as treasurer, one will be working as financial secretary. That's all. Then with the PR, Jonathan is joining the team as the communications person. The work Rain used to do. He will be a liaison between us and the community. So mostly when we are going to a place, someone is supposed to communicate with the on-field rep person, like someone who is a person over there. So he will be communicating with the person, one, and also he will be updating us on issues. For example, if like this meeting about like what Rain used to do, like updating all of us and then making announcements. And if maybe I could TV, so then he will rep us further or something like, and then handle some of the social media things for us if he wants to any bed in a manner. Then yeah, so the two are joining us, and I think it's neat and right for all of us to know before. And Fimumu, then you are like, oh, why is he now doing this? So yeah, any if you think they can't do it, if how we are transitioning them into a good idea, you bring it on board. Then as an open community and as an organization, we try to do things that will help all of us. You can share your thoughts on it. If the methods we are using currently is not like good in transitioning to maybe like you just let us know. Hello. I hope I'm not recording a podcast. I'm not talking to myself. And even with Jonathan's own, I forgot. I think Mary Ann made that recommendation. I have to put it on record too. Yeah. She was like, the way he was updating all of us in the mentoring group, and after the meeting, the way he was transcribing stuff and putting the things there, she was like, oh, then he can help me with the whole thing. Like, yeah. So the way I have been posting the updates and all those things, he will be good at that too. So that's how come like we realized, oh, he can do that job. So yeah. And I told him last weekend, I think he has not said no, so it's yes. So, yeah. Okay, so we have two new executives. So they are all come on board. So our theme for this year is Into the World with the Gospel. The focus is John 5-8. We are sending them in a manner worthy of God, for they went out for the sake of the name. Therefore, we ought to support such men so that we may be followers of the truth. We as part of our focus on missions, we will be launching another thing this year, a resource platform on the Hope Journey website where we'll be sharing helpful documents and things which will be useful for missionary work. So books and PDFs and all those things. There's something like that. And we are going full time into supporting people who are trying to do missionary work. And I just realized we don't have such a thing in Ghana here or outside of the world. Like there's no such thing. So it's something new we are trying to add. And I wanted to put the platform together before today, but unfortunately, so many things came and it's still not up yet. But very soon we'll make the announcement and you see. It will be something like narrowway.hopejourney.com or something, or missions something like that. And we will vote on the URL, the one we think is cool for us, then we use. So that's one AOB. Patrick, any other AOB? Something you think we should discuss? AOBs. Dennis, you are welcome. Asamoah, Isinam, Presla. Hey, Presla, okay, you are welcome. Then Rachel. AOBs, anything. Bibi apese what they can like AOBs. Okay, so let's bring the meeting to an end. Obi movie motion here ending. So for the good of those who joined recently, I will have to recap the plan. Maybe something will come up with the AOBs. This year we are focusing more on missions, and so we are trying to detach the your friend is saying, house-to-house program from the Xmas program, and we are looking at changing the calendar and going back to the pre-COVID calendar, where we start in 1 year and end in another year. So it's like we are starting in March, then we'll end in March 2026, instead of starting in January and ending. So if you pay close attention to it, to the activity planner, you will see, and that's what we are working on. There is some serious changes. Then one thing I forgot to mention is for the December events, this year there are some parts we will be improving. Last year we focused more on health, that we are trying to make them feel comfortable with what they were doing. So aside the house-to-house evangelism thing, we are improving. And the quality of the food, it has always been something on the table, and this year it's a very difficult thing, but I think we have to tackle it. Then the Dockers box too, we have to look at it differently. The way we are doing it, and I think there should be a better way. One, maybe we should go outside. The clothes being inside a room is a problem. When you're around, now you are sneezing. It's not a good thing. It's not neat. Like, we have to. I'm thinking of, if possibly we get either a canopy or something, then that place will be a restricted area. Then we hang the clothes outside. If the Dockers box team agree with me and the person in charge, everyone is in, if it's cool with you, we look at it deeply. Then I realized that they were having inventory problems with the stationery. As someone, any updates on the bag? Thank God. Any updates on the bag? Papa no say so
today,
almost
Papa no say, also in your material, so hopefully by Wednesday I'll hear from him.
So how much will it cost? Like, I just want to know the cost, KK, for sample.
Yeah, maybe it's on the cost now. Say I do a sample, maybe 2 samples. So when it's done with it, is it like when it's done with the 2 samples, you let me know.
Okay, so we are trying to compare the prices of we have a new person and he's trying to do the bag for us. So we want to compare the price, whether on the price is better than we shipping it from China. So if the quality of the work is similar to the China one, that's your friend is saying the price is sensible, like something we can work with. We, instead of investing some of the money in shipping, why don't we just add that money to the person that we get a lot of bags? That's one thing that it came up last year, because people were like, the bags are nice, but not everyone got the bags, and we are all trying to move away from the 100 bags. So he being in charge of stationery and all those things when we go on the field, and it became an issue. He brought it up, and I've discussed it with him. Like, and then I have a series of conversations on it. So he's trying to get at someone. You are saying something?
I've got one person too here, but he said unless he tries his hand on it. So
almost try. They should give us a price, KK. Then we will.
Like, I've got one like in Kumasi here. So I've asked them to send the sample to me to go and show it to him. So that I should bring the sample. So he tries his hand on it. So when after he's able to do it, if he's able to do it, then he'll give we'll continue with the conversation.
Okay, so we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting. So I think up until the next meeting, the Q2 meeting, we will know the status of it, and we know how we can go about it. I think by that time, settled. So that's something I was supposed to update us on. Yeah, so it's good. We are doing the AOBs and about hand. So there are a lot of things we are embarking on this year, and focus on missions and evangelism and other things, trying to get things better. Okay, Asamoah.
Yeah. What about the BEC stuff?
BEC startup, guys, should we do it? We discontinued it last year because we just didn't know what was happening. if Mobekaya, from K1 meeting last year, 2024, the decision was we just don't know what is happening with BEC. They told us they won't write BEC again. And it's like dates need to sister. So it was just confusing. So right now, what should we do? Like, should we embark on it again, or we should wait when this new government is settled on the BC issue, then we go back? Or like, what should we do? Please, it's a very important question. We need your thoughts.
Hello, can you rephrase the question?
Should we do BC starter pack? Because we decided to stop. We decided to put it on hold because it was announced last year that they won't write BC again. But then now they are saying they will write it again. And we are not prepared, one. So it's not in our plans, but then it's about to happen. So should we do it, or we should wait for them to know what they are doing with the BC so that we continue?
Okay, thanks.
So should we go ahead with it?
Well, you said we don't have the funds for it for now. So maybe when they are settled, it would happen. It will happen. We can, I don't know, put it out there for people to contribute so that we do it. Yeah, so I think the response we'll get from that would inform us as to whether we have to embark on it or not. But I think we should, since, but we would also, the last time when we went, they were also saying some places their MPs give them whatever. So it's like we have to also factor in that too. So I think we can do it. Or we should do it. I mean, we should put it on a asterisk on it. We should do it, but then it would also depend on the fund. So maybe when we are certain it will happen, we can put it out there that, oh, we want to do this project as we've been doing. So it will be answer. So if we get a positive response, we can go ahead and do it.
Okay, I see. Presla, you also wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on that one. So, in my opinion, I think we shouldn't, because, like you're saying, as it stands now, we don't know what the government is doing on that, and we've already had our plan. I think with what you're saying, looks like this year it would involve a lot. We have other things we want to look at, and if that is the case, there's no need to be putting something on our list when we are not even sure whether it will be done or not done, and just hanging in there for government to confirm. I believe you can't, if that is the case, and the fact that we don't even know the timelines as to whether this month they are writing or they will write it whatever month. In the event it would come later on, that would be quite close to a main event, and your solicited funds. If I'm supposed to pay now and probably a month later you're asking for something else, I don't know. I feel like it will be hard for people to give and give again. So until we are certain that, okay, this is something that is going to be done, they're going to write the BCs for the next 4 years. We know they are writing, and we know that it is this time. We shouldn't factor it in our budget or even this year's plan. Yeah. This year plan, I think it shouldn't be in. Once we are certain of it, we can look at it in the following years and rather focus on what we've planned this year, because I feel like we already, even though we are starting our Hope Journey calendar, we already, like, one first quarter is going, and we can't really be having things that we are not certain of. Like, it's just hanging in there. Yeah, that's what I think.
I think I'm leaning towards what you are saying, because it's not in the calendar, it's not in our plans. In someone, I think we are, like, we are saying, I think this time around, let's just let it slide. Next year, if by next year the new minister, Emma assurances near there, you add it to plan. I think that would be very cool, and also we even align with the calendar work.